I want to tell you about an event that happened on July 22nd, 1832 in Ware County, Georgia during the Second Seminole War. This event was called the Wilds Massacre. It happened during the Second Seminole War. They were killed during an Indian raid party. The Wilds family lived right near the Okefenokee Swamp. 5 kids did escape to the post house 2 miles away. The Seminoles robbed the house and burned the Wilds house. This was the last Indian massacre in the South. In some reports I read that 9 were killed, some saying that 7 were killed, because back then the records were not kept as well. But the people who lost their lives in this massacre was Maximilian Wilds, the husband, Sarah Wilds, the wife, 6 of the Wilds kids, and 1 of the Wilkerson boys. The kids who escaped were Reuben, Jesse, James, John, and Alice Wilkerson, which was spending the night with them. This is a mock cabin they made in honor of the Wilds family. You can go in and look at it. They made it to look the best it was in 1832. I'm going to tell you the story about how the Wilds massacre started. Maximilian Wilds was a husky man. He was a guy that took care of his family, lived on the Okefenokee Swamp. When the Wilds massacre happened, Ware County was only a county for 14 years, and Waycross would not be established for another 36 years. So the Wilds family had a bunch of kids. Some say 10, some say 9. According to records you see, Maximilian's wife was named Sarah, but also I've seen her name was also Mary, so she might have went by different names, maybe a nickname. Sarah was sensed something was going on in the area because she heard different things going on in the area, and she tried to convince her husband to go to the soldiers' camp 5 miles away or to her neighbor's house, but he refused. He wanted to keep his own place and protect his own place from any kind of harm or attack. While Sarah and Maximilian was out picking scania, they saw people laying in ambush, so they quickly got in their wagons and went home. 2 cousins, the Wilkersons, were spending the night with the Wilds, Alice Wilkerson and her brother. The dogs kept barking in the middle of the night, but then it finally calmed down. Sarah Wilkerson went outside the next morning because the kids had a bonfire, and they were playing with the bonfire, and she went out to check to see if the bonfire was still put out. And she heard a bottle fall on the ground. It made a thump sound. And she saw the Indians and ran back in to tell her husband. After she told Maximilian she saw Indians out in the yard, he said, "We're going to defend our home. We're not going anywhere." Maximilian told his boys to get their guns and for him to get his guns so the Indians could hear it, but actually they only had 1 gun. An Indian came to their house and spoke in broken English and says, "We know you got no gun, and we know how many you have in your house." The Seminoles have been watching them for a while to plan their attack. Maximilian walked outside and fired at the Indians. There was 50 Indians there, and they charged him and took the gun and shot him in his chest, and he died. Mary Ann, his 8-year-old daughter, grabbed the baby and ran, but the Indians grabbed him and beat them down and killed both of them. Sarah Wilds and her kids ran out into the open, heading toward Dubas Bay. The children got caught, but Mary hid behind some bushes and watched everything that happened. The ones the Indians caught, they were beaten with clubs and killed. John, their 8-year-old child, hid in the palmetto bushes and watched his parents and siblings be murdered. After the Seminoles left, John ran to the farmhouse 2 miles away, the post house. Sarah Wilds was sitting in the bushes watching everybody get murdered, her kids and her family, so she decided just to come out and give up. So she came out of the bushes, and the Seminoles also killed her as well. Reuben, their 16-year-old kid, James, Jesse, and John, and Alice Wilkerson escaped to the house 2 miles away. The neighbors nearby heard the sound of the calamity going on, and they came to see what was happening and saw the kids escaping as they were coming in. Word got to a small company of soldiers commanded by Captain Elias Waldron, stationed at the edge of Kettle Creek 5 miles away. The captain ordered all women and children of the area of Ware County into the local fort. The soldiers hurried to the Wilds house, but by the time they get there, all they found was a burned house and dead bodies. They found young Mary Ann, 8 years old, still alive, and when she was wanting water, as soon as they got to her with the water, she passed away from her wounds. The Wilds family were buried in a mass grave near a stump of a chinaberry tree 4 feet high. It's about 2 miles south of the city limits of Waycross. The soldiers couldn't find the Seminoles because they retreated into the Big Cypress, a dense swamp, and their hiding place. This is actually a picture of the Wilds family. They're descendants of the people of the massacre, and they have a Facebook page, and I believe they get together and celebrate this occasion. Not sure exactly where the Wilds house was, but they said it was right on the edge of the Okefenokee Swamp. So if you know where it was or the location of the house, please just put in the comments and let us know. Okay, here I'm in Waycross. There's a trestle right there. I'm at the Wilds Massacre Monument. Here on Sunday morning in July 1832, 7 members of the Wilds settlement were murdered by an Indian raiding party from the Okefenokee Swamp. 6 of the victims were of the Wilds family. 1 was a 12-year-old girl of the Wilkinsons. 5 children escaped to the post house 2 miles away. After the massacre, the Indians robbed, then burned the Wilds home. So this is over here a memorial in Screven in Waycross, Georgia.